paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, that's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes.
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Before we start, I want to make sure I understand this correctly. Wizards sold the secret lair between $10 and $40 based on what you chose to buy. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
based on what you chose to pay.
They usually cost $40. Is that true?
30 to 40 depending on foil or non-foil.
So some people just got them at a discount?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's what I understand everyone was upset about this week. But you know what? People were happy about a lot of things this week. And we're going to talk about it all here on Brainstorm Brewery. No time for an extended intro, just the intro you just heard. So welcome into the show, everybody. I'm Corbin, joined by DJ and Cass, as always. All right, Cass, now that I understand how the secret lair release that people are talking about worked, can you help me understand why it was this?
So many people saw this as quote unquote WotC means testing, seeing like how much will people actually pay for a secret layer, like, oh, they're trying to see how much they can price gouge us. And I can see why people think that. The optics on it are really bad. Honestly, whoever suggested this internally, not a great move. But the actual shtick for me for this is you can buy one secret layer at 10, one at 20, one at 30, and one at 40. So if you want to buy deep quantity of the secret layers, you should pay more for them. That's the idea of this. And so I wonder if this is them testing, well, what if we disincentivize scalpers from buying secret layers by putting them up at $30? But if you want to buy 2 of them, it's $35. If you want to buy 3 of them, it's $40. And obviously that punishes people who want to buy playsets. Maybe they could do it in multiples of 4 for that reason. Maybe not. But to me, this is them trying to find ways to make this more consumer friendly. And that might be me being very generous. It might also be them trying to test if they can charge more. But I don't think that's the case.
They're not
think
charging
they're already
more.
fine being hostile towards playsets because a lot of secret lairs nowadays are limited to 1 or 2 per
It's
per
usually
order.
2. So, but
I mostly
so the
buy
thing
secret
is,
layers and playsets, but that's just because I buy constructed cards.
they're not charging more. They're charging less. Am I misunderstanding? Like, I don't understand. All that happened is some people got a discount. But
Like I said, the optics on this are really bad, no matter how you slice it.
I guess, to your point, like, there's almost certainly, like, they even put out an announcement saying, there's a reason we're doing this. We promise it's not an error. And so they do that to communicate with the audience, but Wizards doesn't need to pinch that penny. Right? And that doesn't, they're not, because they're not charging more. If they went, well, some of them are 40 like they used to be, but, you know, due to the economy and blah, 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 some of them are 60 now. That's different than some of the normal $40 product is $10.
The actual rollout for this needs to be one page. They have a thing that says if you add 1 to your card, it's 10. If you add 2 to your card, it's 20. If you add 3 to your card, it's 30. Like, they can say, in an effort to get secret layers into players' hands more effectively, we're trying this tiered method. You can buy as many as you want, but they get more and more expensive. And players would see that and say, they're really sticking to the old scalpers. And the scalpers would be like, oh, wow, we can buy as many as we want. We just have to make sure the price makes sense. And then the free hand of the invisible market jerks you off or whatever.
Yeah.
Clip that, JJ, please.
I like that I got it flipped too. That's so accidentally very nice.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, that's what's going on with the new secret layer. To me, there's no way they put out an announcement. Like, there's just, I don't understand how it's a greed move. Like, there's just no way that's the motivation because they know people will pay $40 for a secret layer. Like,
they have the data that suggests people will pay $40 for a secret layer.
And this always frustrates me. Sorry, this always frustrates me, but that criticism doesn't make sense, right? It's not that I disagree with it in a Wizards is a corporation that longs to make money. It's that your specific criticism doesn't make sense. They know they can charge $40. So that can't be the reason. It's just so stupid. Everything on the internet is so stupid.
I saw a tweet that said, so this just means they could have been selling secret layers for $10 all along.
Yeah.
Which honestly, you know what? Whoever posted that, good on you.
Man.
That's some good bait. I actually got a little mad reading that.
Yeah, I saw. It's
Remember that $1 secret lair they announced in the Chaos Vault? They could have been selling them for $1. They're just cardboard, guys. They're
That
just
one was pretty
cardboard.
They give them away for free at MagicCons. They put them in your bag.
I remember sitting with a friend of mine who owns a game store, has 5-figure, 6-figure slabs of Magic cards. Someone who is definitively not the target demographic for a cool secret lair was just sitting and talking to me, and then went to his backpack and pulled out one of the Shivan Dragons in Philly and was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yep.
If that guy got a free secret lair, why shouldn't I? In fact, we should nationally subsidize secret lairs. Zoran made childcare free within his first month in office.
It's true.
What the hell, Zoran? Why aren't secret lairs free in New York?
Rare New York W.
One of my favorite possessions that someone gifted me is a numbered Merfolk of the Pearl Trident from one of those MagicCon secret lairs. That's pretty.
Which number did you
Two
get?
different people on this cast have been gifted 295 secret lair cards. I've never received one, so if any loyal fans of the cast want to... I mean, honestly, I'm a marginalized gender. If you haven't given me one yet, that's honestly kind of a hate crime. So if anybody has a Swords to Plowshares they want to give me, I would happily let you cash in the social equity. You would go to transgender heaven if you gave me a Swords to Plowshares serialized. I don't make the rules. It's just true.
TJ, I didn't open it, so I don't know.
You didn't open it.
No, it's still in the package.
It could be 88, your favorite number.
It's not my favorite number.
Which for legal
but it
reasons,
could
we
be,
can't say why it's his favorite number. For
It's
legal
'cause he's
It
reasons.
could be my favorite number, 67.
Is your favorite number 67? My favorite number is 656 because it's an angel number. It was the only angel number I ever bothered to learn. And I decided it was my
what's
favorite
that
number
mean?
when I was a kid.
What does that mean?
Angel numbers are okay, oh Christ. You know, numerology, there
Christ
are
makes
angels trying to
sense. I
speak
get
to us
that.
through the numbers around us. It's a
Sure. Like
it's
that
like
Nicolas
a
Cage
schizophrenia
movie.
thing.
Like that Nicolas Cage movie.
It's like you see the numbers, 656 a bunch, and you're like, oh my god, the angels are trying to speak to me.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing, but
What if
I learned
the
when I was a kid.
6-7 meme is a warning about a meteorite?
Honestly,
And these are the two meteorites that are coming towards us in my hands.
I was watching some coverage of a recent Magic event at 2x speed. And one of the commentators made a 6-7 joke, and so I just hear at double speed, 6-7, ha 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 ha. It's really high pitched and fast. Wasn't expecting it. Deeply stupid. Had a good laugh.
It only gets better because my kid is very annoyed by it now. The kids get annoyed when the adults steal their memes.
Those are our memes.
Those are
Is
our
Corbin Unk?
memes. I have been called that in my life. I had to ask whether it stood for uncle or
Corbin,
uncool.
aren't your kids' possessions legally yours?
No.
No? He's
I don't
like
know.
6. He can't own property, right?
Are my kids
That's
well? My kids average out to 6, but they
I don't-
are not.
I'm not a lawyer, but I think that if you say that your kid's stuff is your property, you're a bad parent.
What if my kids are my property?
Then you're definitely a bad parent, but also you might be legally correct. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
That was the question.
I just play one on TV.
Are they not? Is someone does that mean I'm not responsible for them?
Well, as you know, all property is robbery. So your children are actually robbery.
and all taxation is theft.
Any custody fans in the chat, can you get in here and tell us what's up? Any custody lawyers?
Any divorcees in the chat?
We're big in the custody lawyer demographic. That's actually our number one demographic.
We might actually be big in the divorcee demographic, which honestly, as someone who's divorced,
that's probably
can't
true,
recommend it
Cass.
enough.
Yeah, that's almost certainly true. Oh man. All right. Well, I guess. Anyway, that's
Speaking
up
of
with
breaking up, how about breaking bulk?
Oh my god.
Breaking bulk time.
Let's do breaking bulk. Why not?
Mine was better, Corbin.
I'll take it, DJ.
I got
this breaking. Go ahead, Cass.
I got a hot fire breaking bulk that neither of you are going to get. Corbin might get it.
Oh,
It's an Aether Drift Black Uncommon.
Disinformation tactics.
No.
So this is gonna be a tradition now with Aether Drift Breaking Bulk. I'm just gonna start saying words that sound like Aether Drift things, and I might get there. Fatal Crash.
No.
Exhaust Fumes.
No.
Corbin, jump in. I got a brainstorm.
It was close. It was Vehicular Manslaughter.
That's
no,
Fatal
Corbin was
Crash.
actually very close.
That's
Corbin was
Fatal
very close.
Crash.
I think he knew this one. I think he just said the wrong card.
Is it so? It's the black one, right? With like cycling or something.
It's got cycling. That was one of the mechanics in the set. Yes. What else does it do?
It hits our hand. It makes up discard stuff.
Yeah. Intimidation tactics.
Oh,
You said
intimidation.
disinformation.
I said yeah, intimidation.
You were thinking of disinformation campaign.
I was.
This
Wow.
is a TCG low on it right now. It says 10 cents. It's more expensive than that to buy a copy because of shipping. CK's buy list has the big old star on it on mtgband.com, and they're paying 60 cents on it. It's duress, but it hits artifact or creature, and it cycles. It's a prominently featured card in the new blue-black Excruciator deck.
Duress has
No one really cared about Aether
legitimately. I'm not memeing. Duress has legitimately always needed cycling. Like, that is a card that is most benefited by cycling, and that it is terrible later game. And somehow Duress has never had cycling yet.
Yeah, I mean,
They
this card
went
is really
away
good.
from those effects in large part for a while, right? Like,
I guess Encroach. Does Encroach have cycling or no? I don't know.
I don't think so. The actual shtick with intimidation tactics is only hitting creatures and artifacts is not actually that strong. But it having cycling plus the deck having deceit in it also means that you can hit their creature with this and then their powerful instant or sorcery with your deceit. And so I think this card being good is sort of a symptom, or is sort of a function of deceit being playable with it.
yeah, we're gonna get more into the Pro Tour later. I have lots of thoughts about deceit and cards that are played with it.
The Flock.
The Sunder Flock. Yeah, sacred sweet. All right, DJ, what do you got?
I have a common artifact from Baldur's Gate.
Don't know what's in that set.
It's like a scroll. It's like a mana rock that does something.
It's kind of a mana rock. Kind of.
I can vaguely picture the card. Informant's Kit or something.
No. It's not a kit of any kind. Nor is it a kitten.
Baldur's Gate common artifact.
It's not a kit or a kid, and so if it's not a kid, it's not your property.
Is it a colorless artifact or colored artifact?
It's a colorless artifact. No shenanigans. Colorless artifact. It does cost 2 mana. It's reasonable in a lot of commander decks.
Yeah, I can picture the card. I just can't get there on it. Is it like a seal? It's like a...
No. It does have a pretty generic name that I'm surprised hasn't been used for a Magic card yet. I'm gonna say the name of the card. It is Prized Statue.
Sure.
10-cent CK buy list. Pretty affordable card. I think this is kind of a breaking pick of the week in that, like, non-foils are very affordable and you can buy them, but you can also pick them out of bulk and send them to CK for dimes, which will get you like a pack of gum or a nickel or like a Coke or something like that. I don't know what a dime gets you nowadays.
In 1964?
It's 1 Coke, Corbin. What can it cost? 10 cents?
Price Statue has cool art.
When it's a 2 mana colorless artifact, when it enters the battlefield or dies in air quotes because it's not a creature, create a treasure token. So it's kind of a mana rock. It makes you mana on turn 2, and then if you can find ways to abuse it or repeatedly make it enter or leave with like Goblin Welder shenanigans, or if you're cloning it and sacrificing them to Krut Clan Ironworks or stuff like that. It goes in a lot of artifacty kind of mana decks. It's very affordable. I can definitely see this card going to like $1.50 eventually, in the same way that like Ichor Wellspring kind of does. Just that like 2 mana repeatably do the thing artifact. Very Wellspringy, very very sacrifice friendly. Makes treasure tokens. They come in untapped. You can use doubling season effects on those treasure tokens. It's just a role filler. It's your nuts and bolts.
This card needs to go on my slow bad commander deck. I haven't put a new card in that deck in a while.
Yeah,
The
it
card I
does.
was thinking of, by the way, DJ, was Patriarch's Seal.
Ah, yes.
For some reason, I thought that card would be a common, but it's way too strong to be a common, so...
I don't know. Commons have got legs nowadays.
That's true.
All right. I've got one that I hope you all don't get annoyed by because it is a good breaking bulk. It's from Lorwyn, and it's a blue common.
OG Lorwyn?
Distant Melody.
OG Lorwyn. No.
Distant Melody.
The
No.
changeling that can gain flying.
Moth Changeling, also a great guess.
No.
I think that card's from Morningtide, actually. I think both.
You might be right.
I think both of our cards are from Morningtide. We might have Corbin, not the Corbin pick.
Lorwyn common.
Marrow
Spellstutter
Commerce.
Sprite.
No. This is one of the ugliest Magic arts I've ever seen.
Cerulean Wisps.
Nope. It's a creature.
Pestermite.
Nope.
So the blue creature.
Oh,
types
and
that's-
Amiibo Changeling. Amiibo, the little goopy guy.
It is the little goopy
That's
guy.
not ugly. He's cute.
Is he though? I don't think so.
Yes.
It's like he needs to be stepped on. I guess
Whoa,
those aren't
buddy, whatever
mutually.
you're into.
I guess those aren't mutually exclusive.
He's just a guy. Leave him alone.
Amiiboid Changeling is $2.
Corbin, if we Photoshop your hair onto this creature, not super far off.
Oh god, get out of here, man. This card is $2. It spiked first late last year, and it is now spiking again, as it is a changeling that can give all creature types to any creature, as well as taking all creature types from any creature. And everything in Lorwyn are related to those things is blowing up because Magic is blowing up, because Lorwyn is popular, because it's selling well, because Stin and Craig were a top 10 all-time Magic video without any additional ad spend, etc., etc. Everything's kind of going gangbusters, and that includes Amiiboid Changeling. It was such a good pick. No one has anything to add. We take those.
I'm actually. I have something to add, but I was busy asking my spouse to put your hair onto Amiiboid Changeling before the podcast is over.
Damn it. I tried to blow past that one and just like move on past it so that
Before
would
we
not
are done
occur.
recording, we will have that image on the
Oh,
screen.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And then it gets a thumbnail.
My thing to
on-
add about Amiiboid Changeling is this is one of the first Magic cards I ever owned. So I owned very few Magic cards for a long time. I owned like an edited Selesnya Precon deck for like 4 years, and then once like 2007, 2008 came along, I owned like more cards. This is in the premium deck slivers Precon that I got for Christmas and cracked and played unsleeved for a long time. So I had a silver border one of these that was in my personal collection for several years, and I just got to kind of look at his little face every day.
Yeah, it's a cute little card if you just you know. All right, well, let's move on to what everyone really wanted us to talk about, the Wizards of the Coast stream about the Secret Lairs. I'm just going to read through the notes that somebody took watching through the stream, and we can go from there. Print to demand. This is the first note. Print to demand being the way that Secret Lairs worked for a while, where you buy one if you want one, and then they print it, and then they send it to you eventually. They eventually stopped doing that in favor of, I guess, order to demand. But they print a set amount, and then they sell out, and when they're gone, and they usually sell out pretty quickly. So here's what the notes from the stream were.
I think there's an asterisk on they usually sell out pretty quickly too. Like,
because they don't all do that.
Depending on the property, they sell out very quickly. Fallout was mostly available for several days, even though that was a very popular property. The Furby ones are still available. The PlayStation ones were like very hit and miss. Some of them were immediately gone. Some of them are still up weeks, months later. Like it's very hit or miss whether they sell out immediately. And even within properties, there's usually specific ones that are considered very good.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like, from someone who's not up to date on them, in the sense that I'm not on the website, I buy one when one catches my eye. You know, kind of outside looking in, you just kind of have this, everyone only talks about the FOMO and how they always sell out. And if you didn't get in there at 9:01 a.m., you weren't getting one, and that's all terrible. But then you say, oh, turns out actually even popular ones, well, seemingly popular ones like Fallout, are still available. So maybe they just printed more. All right, here's what they said from the stream. Number 1, print to demand is not coming back. That's your headline. It was bad for business. It cost too much. They threw out too much, and it made the wait times too long. So there you go, everybody. They addressed it directly. It's not happening, whether you like it or not. What do you all think on that? We talked a little before the show about this, about the various ways this could create problems for Wizards, logistical issues on the back end that eat into profits, which then cause them to charge more, et cetera, et cetera.
So I think one of the potential reasons for this, when they say they have to throw out too much, a lot of people might read that and say, why would you have to throw them out? If it's print to demand, you can have 6,123 orders of secret lairs. That means you print 6,123 secret lairs. You send them all out. Even if you round up by 5% to account for refunds or canceled orders or damaged cart, whatever, you should know how many you are going to need based on print to demand. Isn't that the whole thing? I would expect there to be a line in the contract with the printer where the printer has breakpoints of how many they are going to print. So let's use that number, 6,123, just because it's Corbin's second favorite number after 88. And we're going to assume that the printer will be like, okay, we can do 6,000, we can do 10,000, or we can do 15,000. Numbers be whatever, but there are going to be breakpoints at the printer where there's the printer is not going to be like, hey, we'll print exactly 6,123 times 5% because that's how many you need. Right. They're going to use a specific number of sheets in the manufacturing facility because things operate at scale logistically, and they're like, no, we'll only do either 6,000 or 10,000. I don't care that you need a weird number. And then Wizards has to order the full 10,000 and then chuck whatever they don't use. So that is a percentage of their printer contract that just is immediately nuked by this fact. With the limited supply pre-up, they get to be like, okay, we know there's going to be 10K. We're going to list 6,000 or 8,000 of them available for sale. We'll keep the remaining 2,000 for back orders or whatever, or Magic Con giveaways or damaged cards, whatever. And they get to know exactly what they're doing with their print run and where it is going and all of this. So that is why some might end up getting thrown out. And the rest of this is, kind of, it was all speculative, but that there's a fact that is a logistic thing in printing, so it's kind of
that's well explained, because
what is speculative is there were certain secret lairs printed about 3 years ago, around 2022, 2023, when this whole print to demand thing was a thing. There are a lot of secret lairs from that era that a lot of people have a very deep quantity of in the realm of fell off the back of a truck or dodged going to the dumpster because of a sly employee or something like that. I'm a part of a lot of different various Discord servers with people buying some Magic cards, and one of the main commodities that has been traded there recently is people showing up with, hey, I have 75 Elena Danner secret lairs non-foil, or I have 85 copies of the Fortnite lands or something and these are coming from people who do not normally have 85 of one layer, because if it's
distributor level quantity,
right? Yeah, there's a quantity limit there that even in the heydays of being able to order max quantities of secret lairs, back in the day you could even order 30. These are not people who normally have that. So there are Welcome to the Fungus is another one, the weird art Saproling ones. There's some secret lairs out there that were print to demand that ended up not thrown out and came upon the market through other seedy sort of gray market means. So that is another thing that Wizards probably doesn't want to have to deal with if they hear back from one of their contractors. Let's say they have a contractor who it's their job to take and destroy secret lairs, be like, hey, we lost some boxes on a truck. We don't know what happened to them. We are legally obligated to tell you. They're in the Aether now. And the Wizards is like, well, God damn it. So that is just another thing that can happen with the print to demand model.
Yeah, that's well explained. The one thing I'll add to that is that by doing secret lairs in the first place, if we think back to when Wizards started them, they upended the entire business model that they had existed on for 25 or 30 years or whatever at that point, where they sell products to distributors. Distributors sell products to LGSs. LGSs sell product to customers. Wizards cut all of that and said, we're selling direct to customers, right? So you want that experience when you're trying to build confidence in that brand to be smooth, predictable, etc. Now, these are things they're not getting when people can't buy, but people not being able to spend money with you is less of a problem than people regretting spending money with you, in my opinion. And this leads to...
Especially because, like, for how much of the vocal minority says that they're no longer going to spend money with you, a decent portion of that group will continue to spend money after complaining.
Right, but you don't want...
How many collections have you bought for people who quit Magic in a rage quit and then, like, you sold the Magic cards a year or two later? Like, it's
exactly. One of the benefits to the way they're doing the system now is that when you order it, you just get it within a week or 2 weeks, and you get this real instant gratification from it that is them trying to replicate what it's like to walk into a game store and open up a booster pack or find cards in the case that you want to buy. And they really need that experience to be what they want it to be. If someone sees a cool secret lair and buys it, and then it doesn't show up for even, let's say, 2 months, right? It's sort of 6 weeks, right? This sort of like normal-ish time sometimes when you order products. Like we got some baseball cards or something for Ben for Christmas, and it took like 3 months for him to come in. And by the time it comes in, you're like, eh. But the closer you get to instant gratification, the better you're doing. And this, they can't do that when they print after the fact. So
the coin
there's
flip
just
deck
a lot
famously took a year. That's the biggest one. I know it had like logistical issues with the physical coin or something like that, but like the coin flip deck was you can order 30 of them, it's print to demand, buy as many as you want, and then wait a year for it to arrive.
Yeah. All right, so working through the rest of this, and that kind of hits the bulk of it, right? They're working on improving their forecasting to prevent the field bat of showing up and not getting your lair. Yes, that's what they said when they moved to this model as well. 3, they're taking efforts to reduce bots and resellers. And this is the key thing here. They believe it's now sub 1% of orders are bots and resellers. I don't know what to make of that.
I mean, you can if you take them at their word, you take them at their word. If you think they're lying, then we're not.
I don't think they're lying.
Like,
how do they define that? Because it is my opinion that a lot of Magic players who engage in these type of products do the buy one for myself, buy one to resell sort of thing.
I would think that they're defining a reseller as somebody who is using some form of like script, or like somebody who is like not Magic adjacent, or somebody who is just buying because it is a limited print run thing next to their sneaker bot or whatever like that.
So they're not counting in that then, say, you and I
wouldn't think so.
Okay, that was just my question of how that's defined.
I don't know for sure, but I would.
Yeah.
If you're lumping bots and resellers in the same category, I don't think you can count Magic players who are planning to maybe resell one as lumped in there. I don't think so.
Well, that's okay. And that's kind of my take on Pokemon too. When people ask me about scalping market and stuff like that, it's that I don't really know what you call somebody who buys 10 ETBs to hold for 3 years to make money, but then opens 5 of them and loses money on 5 of them because they got the itch to open them. They still have they still bought 10, they still hoarded them, but they're not exactly scalpers, are they? Like, they're just deluded collectors.
Well, that, and there's the whole there's the whole like no snowflake thinks they're the fault of the avalanche thing of like. So many Magic players, when I sell out of cards that are spiking, like, most of the time when somebody buys me out of something, it is not somebody buying me out of something. It is a bunch of players buying 1 at a time for Commander, or 2 or 3 at a time for Commander, or like a place at a time if it's a standard card, stuff like that.
Jesus.
Very, very rarely, when I sell out of a card, it's... Wait, what happened?
I'm so sorry to derail you, DJ, but check the voice
you're
text
good,
channel.
you're good. I found it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's got a.
I think we're done here.
It's so good.
I think it's all over.
The glasses are perfect, like truly.
I'm finishing this cast without glasses. I can't see shit now. Oh,
Did I bully Corbin too hard? Oh no, was that
What
too
a-
much, buddy?
What a good Photoshop. That came.
Ollie's
It's
the
so
best.
it's so well done. It's fast. It's fast. Oh man, just like a secret lair. Do you see how much that instant gratification added to the experience?
If you're not watching at Brainstorm Brewery, or not, whatever. If you're not
YouTube.
watching at youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery, that you're missing out. That's all.
You are missing. You are missing.
You are missing out on.
Oh, the second one. I just saw the second one.
Whenever Ollie does Photoshop, they do a normal one, and they do one where the person has a giant blunt. So it's like their
Excuse me,
signature.
sir. A second Photoshop is hit the Discord channel.
Oh man. I'm over here coughing. I'm such an old man. I started a new blood pressure medication, and they said a side effect is coughing.
That's
you're
tough.
cooked.
I said, does it make you like congested? And they said, no, it just makes you cough. And I said, oh, okay. I guess I'm used to doing that anyway. Maybe we'll be okay.
I started
Yeah.
a new SSRI, and my doctor told me it might make me fat and a eunuch. And honestly, your thing sounds way worse.
All right. Were there more bullet points? There were more bullet points, huh? Back to the secret layers. There's a lot of exciting things coming. They say not all will be dynamic pricing. They're increasing the security in queue. They believe they've improved the process significantly in the past 6 months. Confirmation that the countdown kit is now an annual drop. That one's interesting to me because I am a reseller on those. I think I kept one and resold 3 and made a bunch of money. So I would like more of those every year.
Those are also just like historically good value for customers who just want to own the cards.
Yeah, it's good stuff in them.
Even today, most of the Commander precons, the Secret Lair Commander precons, and the Secret Lair Countdown kits are just crackable. Like, you can find people on said Discord servers or marketplace channels or whatever selling the 20 ways to win deck for 10% under TCG, or like the coin flip deck or stuff like that. And if you use Band, if you use the sealed tool search on Band, let's do 20 ways. I can just type in 20 ways. It pulls it up. The deck is on TCG Player for $250, $250. The EV of the deck on TCG Player is $363.
Yep.
CK Biolist is $222, so it's like CK Biolist. If you just buy the deck on TCG for $250 and then sell it to CK for $222, take 30% store credit. Like, that's the numbers work there. It's just good. It's not like free money or whatever, but it is effectively almost free money because it's slightly amount of work. And those decks are like the countdown kit too. Let's see. Encyclopedia is the other one. Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Low on the EV on this one's a little bit worse, but it's 300 deck for the deck on TCG, and then the EV is 250. So it's like, it's close. It's not, you're not losing a bunch of money.
Well, yeah. Also,
Just check these regularly is the point. Like, you just regularly check them, and sometimes they're worth more than they.
Where do you check them?
MTGBand.com. MTGBand.com is the beloved sponsor of this podcast. It is a suite of tools that let you check amazing things with Magic price data. You can search for like every secret lair from a certain era. You can search every rare from Revise. You can search any sort of thing you can wrap your mind around, except for like the really weird Scryfall tags. Like, Scryfall's got some crazy. It's like every card has this person looking to the left, and it's like you can't do that with Band. And you can't do like every card has like a lamp in it, because I have a local player who built a Mothman Commander deck where every card has a lamp in it. You cannot do that with Band, but you can do most everything else that has any sort of like parameters of sets or rarity or color or eras or anything like that. It gives you the full pricing data of Europe, Japan, TCG Player, Star City, Card Kingdom, buy list numbers for all those, matching conditions. It gives you all the stuff, and depending on how much you pay for Band, your subscription gives you more tools. You can do things like click a single button to upload an entire CSV into Card Kingdom. You can do some very, very, very powerful, cool things that save you several hours of your time. Yeah, this podcast is brought to you by number 1, mtgband.com. Number 2, it is brought to you by the water in our data centers. We're taking that up right now in your life. Each of us is just a few little water molecules in one of your data centers. So
I don't like this. This is bad. This pitch is going sideways.
Me personally, I don't think I'd be a water molecule. I'd be like a Diet Mountain Dew molecule or something.
I'm a transformer inside the.
We know you're trans,
like
Corbin. It's
piece
fine.
of
We
that's
accept
not
you.
like a piece of I'm not the water in the data center. Okay, I'm the data. All right.
Corbin is 1 bit. He's at least a 2-bit hack.
All right, I have DJ. You have a friend who built a lamp deck. Is their name Brick?
What?
Are they in Anchorman? Do they love
Oh,
lamp?
this is a reference to an aged comedy film.
That's true. It is.
Yeah, that blood pressure medication was aptly diagnosed, Corbin. I will give you that.
I'm aware. Yes. The other note I had there is that people who open, you're talking about cracking those countdown kits. People who open them all at once, get out of here. Okay, shame on you.
Oh, that's me.
30 days.
Corbin, let me tell you something, buddy. No one likes advent calendars more than me. You know how I know this? My Christmas present, my partner and I share, is instead of getting normal presents, we just get an advent calendar for every day of the month, and we crack the whole thing in one sitting. We do like whole advent calendar on the first, whole advent calendar, and they're not all like super crazy ones. Sometimes like the $3 ones of chocolates or whatever you can get at the grocery store.
You know what they say, the 750 days of Christmas.
That's exactly it. And it's so indulgent to just be like, oh,
my math
it's
is
the
wrong.
second
It's
of the
actually
month and I'm
500.
opening all 25.
I guess
Corbin,
it's 525.
Less than 30 minutes ago, you were talking about how important it is to have instant gratification, and now you're going on about the benefits of edging? No, like, that's not how this works.
I do not edge. I simply open the whole thing on one day. Oh my god, have you ever opened a whole Lego advent calendar in a single day? It's like bathing in a pool of f***ing ecstasy.
Until you step on a Lego. I've stepped on a lot of Legos. That sucks.
Yeah, man, just don't put them on the ground.
Skill issue,
yeah.
Entirely.
Yep, for sure. Okay, well, there you go. That's all of that. The other note from this stream, shout out to Wizards for doing the right thing here. They delayed the Dan Dan secret layer so that they could involve Nick Floyd, who I believe is the originator of the Dan Dan format. If I have that correct. So, good call there. I know there was a bit of an outcry when they announced one and basically didn't even give any credit to the person who I think came up with Dan Dan. So
Yeah, there were
that
some
is
weird
the-
choices in that deck.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. That's the those are the notes from the stream this week. And now the other stream this week we want to talk about is the Pro Tour. We've made it all this way without talking about the Pro Tour like Cass and I really wanted to. Going into the show, we came off 2 weekends of regional championships in the United States and Europe where Badger Mole Cub decks dominated, including Nature Rhythms deck, green decks. So that set the stage for the PT with Lore When Eclipse coming out, where every team coming in knew that you either played Cub or you played a deck that beat Cub. And it turns out there are a lot of decks that beat Cub when the best players in the world want to. And that's what happened. We saw sure, there was some Badger Mole Cub in the top 8, but Elementals were everywhere, all over the format. Demir Excruciator, sure. It was a wild, wild weekend, one of the best weekends of competitive Magic in a very long time. And we started things off at the Pro Tour, with a moment of silence honoring Kai Buddha when they announced what happened there. So it was well done and handled classily by Wizards heading into the PT. All right, what did you think of the PT, Cass?
Not only was there just a ton of cool decks, not only was it sick to see, people were calling for Badger Mole Cub to be banned before this event, and seeing the greatest players in the world put their heads together and beat this deck, all that was wonderful. But beyond that, we had like 10 different games on camera over the weekend that I was like shouting at my TV, like so excited. I played an RCQ on Sunday, and we delayed round 4 so that we could all finish watching to figure out who won the PT. like, it's been so long since I've sat in a room with a bunch of strangers, just like, we have it up on the TV, and it's like, Game 5, Tony Portolon versus Christopher Larson.
That
and,
was good.
It was a great match.
Game 4 had the insane ending.
We had, like, a whole bunch of moments at this PT where it's like, beloved person comes back to the PT after a while, or, like, has their big break, is playing this sweet deck. There was a really cool narrative of, like, one of the most broken win rate decks of all time, not even making top 8, but, like, the team. Do you know that the Blue-Red Spelementals deck in Constructed had a 70% win rate? The worst Constructed finish of that team was 6-4.
Yeah, they went 72%.
Spelementals is a great name.
Yep, they came up with they I want to just give so many shout outs to that team because first of all, the name is good. And let this be a note to all aspiring Magic players out there. They did the right thing, which is contact Frank Carson and tell him, we want to name our deck this. Is this okay? Help us brainstorm. And that is how you actually get a cool name through, because there were other teams that didn't do any of that and their deck just got named Is It Elementals? Because that's what it was, right? But the point is, it's not that you can't have fun names. You just gotta kind of workshop it. So anyway, that turned out great. Yeah, they had a 72% win rate on day one. They none of them made top 8, but they all played the deck, and that's probably the craziest thing is that 16 of them all played the exact same deck because Sunderflock all over those Cub decks.
It sure did. It honestly. So I played the deck. I did the thing that the unfathomable thing when you see a cool deck on the Pro Tour, which is I picked it up and I played it. And you know what? None of my games were close. I had a match. I played a paper RCQ. In round 1, I played against a Roots player. And you know what? His deck was sick. He made a bunch of plant tokens. He had an Overlord of the Balemerc in play. He had a bunch of other sick creatures in play. And I just played a Sunderflock and he died. And you know what? I felt bad about it. It felt like I was the bad guy. And it felt good to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
The card is so good. Like, all of my matches felt fairly easy. Like, the deck felt like I was doing something leagues better than everybody else. And to be fair, that was because I was playing a PT deck, and, like, not everyone in the room had made changes with the new format. But, like, it was messed up.
Here's my
Hydrogen Bomb
take.
versus Coughing Baby. Coughing Baby is Corbin on the blood pressure medication, by the way.
Of course.
All right, here's my hot take after watching a ton of Standard, talking about a ton of Standard, including some players who said, well, like, I went to one player, we're talking about Cub, and he's like, yeah, I think that's going to be banned in 2 weeks, or whenever the next ban window is, or whatever, right? And I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, there's a lot of people who aren't playing it, and the people who aren't playing it feel like they can beat it. And he's like, yeah, that's what they thought last weekend, too, and the weekend before that. And I was like, okay, battle lines drawn. But it turns out that the Pro Tour crowd is a little more skilled, brave, had another week, whatever you want to call it, than the RC crowds did, and we saw a lot happen.
One of the biggest tells for me about that is that at the RC, almost nobody was playing the card Requiting Hex, when it is a strong 1-mana black removal spell, and like no one was willing to play it at the RC. I had 4 copies in my blue-black mid-range list that I was going to play at the RC. Like, that card is so good. It kills Cub, instant speed. I think that's where the difference is.
No one went deep enough before the PT. All right, this is my take on the larger format overall. People flocked to Cub for all of these reasons, right? Because they recognize, and this goes back to sort of when I was playing Magic, I think back to the Turbolands deck that was designed for Pro Tour World Week, first one I almost queued for. And it was Zvi Mauschwitz who was talking about how he designs decks and formats, how he brews. And he said, I always start with the mana. I look at the way to spend the most mana and make the most mana, because the player who spends the most mana usually wins the game. And that's how they ended up with like the Lotus Cobra, Turboland, whatever Jace decks that ended up coming around. I've always thought about Magic like that. Looking at Magic in 2026, people clearly went to the, well, let's make a bunch of mana with. We just put all the mana dorks in the card, or all the mana dorks in the deck, and then we sort of remove as much air as possible so that we have fewer whiffs. That's what Nature's Rhythm basically helped the deck do. Okay, well, that's great. We spend the most mana, and that was really powerful. You get to the PT, and people realize that cheating mana is almost as powerful, and in fact is probably more powerful than spending mana. and all of the evoke elementals are just cheating mana by evoking, and then they're getting copied with Superior Spider-Man in the blue-black decks, for instance, on turn 4, and getting the deceit triggers again. Or in the other decks, they're copying Wistfulness. There's Roaming Throne is a $50 card because people realize that I can cheat so much mana with these elemental effects that just play cards to double them, because that's what the deck is. And that's like, so it really kind of reminded me of like Scam, like the evoke element.
Yeah.
Like it's all about just how they can cheat mana. And the format was who can spend the most mana versus kind of like who can save the most mana almost.
Right.
So anyway, that's how we got great matches, and a deck that, by the way, winning deck that isn't any of this stuff we're talking about.
Roaming
winning
Throne
deck
is
is-
like gonna be like an $80 card, right? Like in the long term.
It's pretty
Combo
funny.
of Commander card, Lost Caverns, and 4 of standard playable is like that. That card's the new Shieldred, I guess, which is weird because it's a rare.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Magic's crazy right now.
I mean,
It just does all the things.
it's really funny to be able to say that the most expensive card in standard is because of 60 card 4 of constructed. That's kind of sick.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, I was really excited for this event going in, and it like actually just surpassed all expectations. And we have a lot of, people online saying this is awesome, this is great. I think that, Commander has now become this thing that isn't this hot new thing. It's just this thing that is sort of this behemoth that exists, but at the same time doesn't really have a lot of, news, so to speak. Like, he doesn't necessarily have a lot that moves the conversation forward. And it's kind of created more space again for Magic. Now, obviously, we're going to go back to Magic-Cons the rest of the year, and that'll be the big focus, and it won't, just be the Pro Tour. But this standard season, going back to like the Lessons deck after the bans, the Lessons deck breaking out at Worlds, and then you get a ton of churn, and then you get a Pro Tour where the most popular decks do terrible, and now no one knows what's good outside of Sunderflock, but I don't think Sunderflock's the end-all be-all of the format.
Right.
It's just, I think it's going to be really great. So we have an opportunity to continue an awesome season of Standard. So I don't know. I really want to be optimistic about Magic in 2026. Lorwyn, I think, got a ton of boosts out of being an in-universe set. I know that it's selling well. It seems like a pretty hot start to the year. I'll leave it at that.
2026 is a year where I see a bunch of people who are kind of disillusioned with Magic for a while. It's mostly competitive players who were disillusioned with Magic for a while, who are like, maybe I will try and go to the Pro Tour again. Like, maybe I'll hit that extra RCQ. Maybe I'll buy that extra standard deck. Like, people I know who were loath to spend money on Magic cards last year bought a playset of Quantum Riddlers this week, Like, people want the narrative. People like the idea of being a star. People like being romantic about the Pro Tour,
Yeah. Yeah, and it helps.
And I'm
that
one of them.
people are slowly coming back. They're, the spotlight events. 900 people at the RC last week in the United States. Like,
I'm going to Richmond for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles spotlight, and you know what?
hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
play some standard.
I will see you there. I'm
I'm
excited.
gonna make some Kaito emblems, maybe.
I'm going to put together my Merfolk deck for Standard, and I will lose. I realize I'm going to get more
Corbin's gonna be a
Merfolk.
player.
Well, I realize no, not in that. I'm working that event. But I realize that they're going to get me more Merfolk in the Marvel set. So maybe all hope is not lost. You never know. We'll see. All right. Here's something you do know about. And it's going to be good. It's our picks of the week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
My pick of the week this week? Pure gasoline.
Gas
Pull it
Guzzler.
back up.
It's another Aether Drift card. Gas Guzzler.
Uh-uh.
Petroleum Elemental.
I have a Johnny Outland Chaperone, the mythic rare Planeswalker, a forgotten card type in Magic, from Lorwyn Eclipsed. It is $2 TCG low. There's a buy list of $3 at Star City Games and $4.25 at Card Kingdom. This card was prominently features a sideboard card in the couple of white weenie decks that did well at the PT. Zevin Faust being the primary person with that. This is a really strong Planeswalker, and it's a mythic in Lorwyn Eclipse, which is a set that's selling out We've seen that there are expensive cards in the set. The set can hold more value, I'm sure. And if these white aggro decks, which do seem to be pretty good in the elemental strategies, keep doing well, I could see this Johnny card ticking up in price pretty reasonably. Or at the very worst, you're better off getting your copies now because people are going to stop opening Lore when Eclipsed in, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's not going to be long, right?
I had to deal with this card in Commander, which doesn't add anything to the conversation, but I recognize how scary it can be.
It being a decent removal spell, a good token generator, and honestly, 3-mana Planeswalkers are so strong when they defend themselves.
All right, DJ, what are you looking at for your pick of the week?
So, every time there are Commander precons nowadays, there are cards in those decks that are $10 to $15 that go down to $2. And I think this being the Lorwyn Elementals deck, has one of the best picks for those that I have ever seen. Timeless Lotus is $2 to $3, guys.
Yeah.
That Dominaria United Mythic that was the second most expensive in the set behind Sheolred or whatever, that card is $2.50 TCG low roughly. And if you can look at the difference between the two printings, because it didn't affect the price of the original one that much because people aren't buying the original one that much because the new one is so affordable. So just keep buying the new one at $2 to $3 and it will be $10 again, I promise you. Most of these precons have very, very good expected value in them in the long term. If you just wait a year or two, like we were just saying, they will go out of stock, they will stop being printed, eventually the print run will dry up. And the demand for Timeless Lotus will not stop. It is a 5-color mana rock that just does all the things. It makes 5 whole mana. That's a lot of mana. And
5 to 11 mana.
Yeah. And if you're doing Amulet of Vigor nonsense, then it's going to come in untapped. And there's a few more Amulet of Vigors now than there were in 2009. So
True.
Sometimes it comes in untapped and it just does the thing immediately. I play this in my Garth deck, and it's very, very good. And it's definitely $10 to $15 good, and it will be there again.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hop in. I don't know why this card is as cheap as it is, but Superior Spider-Man is $3.
Yeah.
And that's, I know that Spider-Man as a set sucks. There's not a ton of value in the set for some of the this level of cards, but it's only gone from $2 to $3 in the past week, and everything else in these decks has exploded. And maybe it won't do that, but like I talked about, of using this card to copy the effects from Elementals, there's 3 years of that. I don't think this card will be $3 forever. It's too powerful.
One of the things I will say about the Spider-Man set is I believe it was a little bit smaller than some sets, so there might be potentially easier to open each individual rare.
Yeah, I definitely think it has some of those factors.
A huge supply, but $3 is unreasonable for what is probably one of the top 5 strongest cards in the entire format. And
it's a card that gets it's we say this about things and it matters though. This card gets better with everything else that's printed. Yep. There are plenty of ways to discard cards that aren't just evoking elementals. There's the removal spell, Bitter Triumph, where you discard a card. I saw that going on, etc. So this card is just great.
In their Cub deck, they played a Formidable Speaker, discarded Crater of Behemoth, and found Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, JD is so good.
That card is... Superior Spider-Man, it was a one-of in the 5-color Cub deck because it just, oopsie doopsie, I drew my Crater of Behemoth, I guess you're dead.
JD, the Formidable Speaker, John Emmanuel Duprat's his World Championship card, it's so good.
Yeah. I am very excited to try playing that card in Eternal format soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be good, but I'll pitch a Vengevine and grab something else.
Hell yeah, Vengevine.
Oh my god, could you imagine? Give me Vengevine in Standard. Oh my gosh.
Now you're talking my language.
You discard your Vengevine to go get another Formidable Speaker to discard another Vengevine. This all sounds terrible. But anyway, JD is a great card.
Discard Vengevine, grab Memnite, play Memnite, trigger, bring back Vengevine immediately.
Oh.
Ba-boom.
Corbin, Gaia's Cradle makes a hell of a lot of mana. I'm just going to say that.
It does. Gaia's Cradle is a sick magic card, man.
That's true.
JD untaps Gaia's Cradle.
Well, I've been messing around with Springleaf Drum in Standard. That card sometimes gets there in the little creature decks too.
Unrelated, purely anecdotal thing. I lost a game on Moto because I tried to Eddie Merc Crab 2 of my opponent's creatures, and I forgot that JED can untap their creatures. So they just untap one of them. I tapped like the 2 biggest things. JED untap one of them, and they were able to block with like a bigger creature, and I got blown out in combat.
He does do that, huh?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have necessarily thought of that either. All right. Well, there you go. I think that wraps it up for us this week. I know that the 3 of us are headed to Richmond again. Well, I guess just again for me here in another month or so. I certainly hope it's less cold than it was when I was there this time, because it was really cold.
It was too cold.
I was cold. Well, we had a sky, but it was icy too. Like, I was just watching people wipe out all day long. Like, it was brutal.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because everything had hit the point where it was just like a literal sheet of ice over everything on the, like, it wasn't even like, this is kind of icy. It was like literally an ice rink. So it was
I heard that it got like 1 degree over freezing for like 1 day. And then it refroze again immediately, which is just like, oh, come on.
That must be why it looked like that. Yeah, it's exactly how that happens. So it was nuts. But we'll be there. So if you are there at the SCG Con, we'll see you there for the Avatar Spotlight. Or I'm sorry, the Ninja Turtles Spotlight, right? Is that what it is?
Yep. The Needle Teetles.
Well, we might see you there. We will definitely see you in our Discord that all of our patrons who go to patreon.com/BSB have access to. We want to thank all of you for your support. Thank those of you listening. Thank those of you watching at youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery who certainly got your money's worth this week. Shout out to Ban for the sponsorship. And that does it. We will see you all next week here on Brainstorm Brewery.
For episode number 1,000,000.